One. Hi, this is Carolyn James with Holistic Campus, and today I have with me a founding practitioner, and her beautiful name is Barbara Ammahlia Schaefer Berdner. We all love that.
That's right, and you can call me Barbara.
That's so much easier. and Barbara has very interesting practitioner sessions that she works with, and she is considered a light body healer, an integrator, and a surgeon. So welcome, Barbara. And
thank you.
Explain to us exactly what that means.
Well, I'll tell you that, so thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. And thank you again for bringing together the Holistic Campus. As you know, I mean, you're going to get chills. I'm getting chills. I call them truth bumps, right? I knew for the last 5 years, if not longer, that part of my work was to bring a bunch of healers together so that we could all work together and bring our gifts and blessings, because everyone's healing is a different recipe. And I was so thrilled to find that you were going to be the one to organize it.
Because I bet it's usually you.
It usually is. So thank you. I really do want to say thank you. And thank you for really bringing this so all of us can bring our mission of service to the world. So thank you.
My pleasure. It's wonderful.
So, light body, it's kind of funny, because how do you describe it in a way that people can understand it? What usually happens is somebody hears the word light body, and if it's for them, they go, "Oh, I want to learn more." Okay? Really, there's something about the word that if their soul came to experience this work, they're like, there's something there. Okay? Describing it though, I've hired about 5 different branding people, well, actually I have a great copywriter, but what is light body? And recently, and I love this because there's a wonderful branding lady that I worked with, and she just didn't get it. She didn't get it until recently, because she did the work with me. And she said, "Oh my word, Barbara, it's like when we're born, we're connected with God, with Source, with the universe, and everything is light and wonderful and beautiful. And then life happens. And we get further and further and further away from the spark of the Godhead that we are. And we forget that we're so connected with God. Until we meet you." Because we've done, seriously, she said this, because we've done years and years and years of healing. And we keep feeling like, I've got a glass ceiling and I can't get through the glass ceiling, and I don't know what's going on. And she said, and then I come to you, and you literally, there is a structure that's a glass ceiling to consciousness that gets removed for most people. And she said, and now she lives her life in HD TV.
Oh.
And really proud to say that she's also someone who had only told one person in her life that she'd been molested. And at the end of our 3rd session, she shared with me that she had, and she wound up posting a Me Too story today. Yeah. And you know how healing that is. So did I answer your question? What is light body? Okay, let's get back to the practicality of it. Is I used to be an engineer.
It still blows my mind.
I know. So I studied mechanical engineering, alternative energy systems, and little did I know it was the other kind of alternative energy systems that I was really interested in. But, spirit takes you in certain paths. And I see now that my background in engineering and being a manager of gas and electric engineering, back when women didn't do this, right? And I know really it's only in the 70s. Okay, he's right. I'm not that old, 58. That it really got me to understand what it was like to be in the world, right? To be in the corporate world. But anyway, so I bring this structure, this understanding, this, as I say sometimes, I'm a Reiki master teacher. I'm a master soul contract reader, an advanced divine healing practitioner, and a light body activator, integrator, and surgeon. And I'm actually really normal. So the nerdy way that I describe it is that the light body is all of your energy bodies. It's your physical chakras, it's your higher chakras, it's your mental body, your emotional body, your physical body, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All of these energy bodies, along with your divine blueprint, right? Which has all those bits of who we really are. And so what the light body, for most people, is they call it your vehicle for spiritual growth, or your vehicle for ascension, or your vehicle for consciousness. And some people see it as this individual bit that looks like a Merkabah, okay, which is the Star of David in a dimensional form. I see it as that, plus all those other things, and literally like the electrical grid wiring that goes with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I help to heal that. And you're like, heal it? Well, wait, why does it need healing?
What's the matter?
Yeah, because we came here to be, and I use the example of source, right, being over here, and us being here on earth, okay? And especially those that resonate with light body are really accustomed to being really close to source all the time, okay? And we can do anything. When we're close to source, we're like, manifest,
Oh, absolutely.
abundance, no big deal, okay. But you don't get to learn that much when you're that close to source, because it's like everything happens. What's the big deal? Why are you having a problem down there? So we chose to come here to Earth. All of us did. Everybody on planet chose to come to Earth to be as far away from source as possible. But those of us that are all of us are used to being close to source, but some are just used to being a little closer. And all of us came with blockages that as we start bringing more of who we are in, the blockages happen. And the way I describe it is that it's like you have, remember I said like an electrical wiring is how I see it anyway, how I experience it. So we're old enough, we might remember, I'm not sure all your audience will, but those older homes that have those circuit breakers that are glass, right? Okay.
Knob and tube, yes.
Yes, the knob and tubes. And so think of it, this is just an example, think of it that you've got some circuit breakers, okay? And they're beautiful, clear, wonderful things. And they have a governor on them. When you bring in a lot of lights, you're getting closer to source. Ooh, my higher self is coming in, I'm embodying. These blow. And they become either dark blobs or they burst. And often they start causing pains. Like, wait a minute, why am I getting arthritis? My family doesn't have arthritis. Oh, I got migraine headaches. Okay. So that's one symptom, these things that people call ascension symptoms. So it's working electrical wire.
Very cool.
I know. And it doesn't make sense to your conscious mind, like with the branding lady. She just knew she needed to do this. She didn't understand it. You don't have to. These people that work with me already know they have a very strong mind, and their mind can talk them in or out of anything. All right. Well, partly the mind is our mind, our egos, right, is part of what keeps us separate from source. And so this work helps us to integrate all of that, integrate all of who we are and bring it forward. Have I done it 100%? No, I'm still in body, okay?
Right.
Still having a life, right? But the difference is when big things come up, I manage them in a much different way, much different way. And I've had my own stuff. Breathe, it'll be okay. You really are a child of God. You really are being taken care of.
Oh, that's so interesting. And people are just drawn to you for that.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's like my, I love to tell this part of the story, so I'll just jump in. I hit my head 20 years, well, I was in corporate and I loved my job. I loved what I was doing. And I actually even an interesting part is I went to work for the utility company to help decentralize energy.
Oh, wow.
Duh. I really came to help decentralize energy, meaning bringing the power to the people with a different kind of alternative energy. But anyway, I was very successful. I was in the fast track, and within 2 positions, I would have I would have been the youngest vice president ever in the company. Okay, I mean, I was that close. I loved my job, but it was costing me my marriage and my health. So they were having a golden handshake program where either I could take a big promotion in a nice place to live, or a 1.5 year salary to leave. I may be blonde, but I'm very smart. I took the money. So I did a little bit of traveling, but then I also went back to work, but as a consultant, and I worked part-time. Because of course, if I work part-time, then I can get some balance in my life and everything will be better. And yeah, right.
Sure.
Oh, and excuse me, when energy moves, I burp, and I got a big burp coming. So I got to tell your audience, I'm not being rude. I'll try not to for the interview, but sometimes. So what happened was that again, my marriage started failing, right? Because I wasn't doing my job a different way.
Yeah.
I was working less hours, but I wasn't doing it differently. I was still shutting out my husband. I was still like, gotta get everything done, perfectionist, not trusting that if I didn't work really hard, that people might not like let me go, or, you know, I mean, it was just intense. Well, as you know, the universe will give you some messages, and I wasn't getting the message to basically wake up or wake the F up, really. And I was in an accident. I'm a dog sled racer. Kind of semi-retired now, I know. It's one way that I connect with the energy. It's one way of understanding intuition and energy. And anyway, I was thrown from the sled. I hit my head on the ice. So literally, the planet knocked me upside the head. And I was dead for 7 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. And during that time, I went to source consciousness. I went back home, so to speak. All right. It was amazing. It was just amazing. But when I came back in the body, boom.
Did you want to come back, Barbara?
No. Actually, I stood up there. I mean, I do have even right after the accident, I had a lot of memories, but I thought they were dreams because I was not metaphysically trained in any way. I mean, yeah, as a kid, I spoke to Jesus, but I just thought everybody did. But other than that, not really. So yes, I remember standing up there in front of this group of beings, which I later learned was the karmic board. And for everyone's are different. For me, I resonate really well with ascended masters. I later learned that's who that was, you know, like Buddha, Kuan Yin, Mother Mary, Archangel Michael, Jesus was my guide, you know, that kind of thing. And then all these other light beings behind. And they said, okay, you got to go back. I'm like, this is beautiful. I love it. And I'm staying. And they're like, no, you've got big work to do. You've got to go back. I'm like, you can't make me. I don't have to. Now that I'm back and I understand all this, I'm like, oh my gosh, did I have not reverence for these beings and blah, blah, blah. But they don't care. They really don't care. They just want you to be you. So if you think of your soul as a diamond, this isn't like a perfectly shaped, of course it's not a diamond, but you know, you think of your soul as a diamond, and an aspect of your soul is down here having this experience as Carolyn, okay? And this aspect was down here having the experience as Barbara Schaefer. And this aspect said, no, I ain't going back. No way. Another aspect said, I'd love to come. I would love to come down. So Barbara, okay, still the same soul. So this aspect jumped down into the body. Okay, well, they had a little agreement about what that aspect was going to do.
Contract.
Jumped down into the body and jumped right back out. But oh my God, that hurts a lot.
Quite tense down here.
But just kind of hovered and kind of watched what was going on. Anyway, jumped back in the body, obviously, because I'm here. And all I knew was that I was not a completely different person like you talk about in your book, right? I was a slightly different person. All of a sudden, I couldn't do math anymore. And I wasn't even interested in doing engineering. Combined with I couldn't walk 10 feet without passing out and had horrible migraines and impaired vision. So anyway, back to how to, you know, like body surgery and all that, is what I did know is I'd learned some stuff when I was up there. Like I felt like I got a PhD in like 5 things, but I didn't know what they were.
Fascinating.
And the other thing that happened is people would start talking and I would see numbers and symbols floating over their head.
Ah.
It's not like you Google numbers and symbols over somebody's head.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not like you tell anyone because they might think you're crazy and put you in a loony bin.
Yeah.
Right. So I went about 15 years of my own healing. All right. Which led me to a lay on hands healer who I did not script or plan for a miraculous healing. I mean, I sort of did, but laid his hands on my head. So after 10 years of like migraine headaches, 4 to 6 Vicodin in a day, could go back to work at an entry-level job when I was this close to being a vice president.
Yeah.
He laid his hands on my head and I was well for 3 days. And I went, not only is this possible, but oh my gosh, there's people who have this kind of energy.
Yeah.
Right? Because I wouldn't even go see a chiropractor before this because I thought they were quacks.
Oh boy. Yeah.
I know. So big shift, right?
Yeah.
I then studied Reiki. I became a Reiki master teacher, more as a way to bring in my own energy rather than really using it as a practice. And then about 5, 6 years ago, a friend of mine, I don't have a piece of paper here, but a friend of mine was visiting and she had a brochure on her desk, on her bed. And I picked up the brochure, this tattered brochure, all yellowed and tattered. And it said light body surgery. I went, I have to learn that.
Ah.
And she goes, no, you're not a light body surgeon. Or at least that's what I heard, right? Like, that's okay. I need to learn it anyway. So I look and there's some prerequisites, but they're not being offered for 6 months. But then they were offering a class in soul contract reading next weekend. And I had just the right amount of money in my bank account.
And a free weekend. Perfect.
Yeah. Well, it was 8 weeks. It was 8 weeks, 16 courses, but still I was available, right?
Yeah.
So I sign up. The guy says, do you need a reading? I go, I just need the class. So in the first day of class, I remembered one of the things I had learned.
Oh, wow.
Soul contract reading. Those numbers and symbols that I would see, and you might feel the chills again, because this is chills of truth. This is truth. Those numbers and symbols over somebody's head, he had developed a system for finding out what they were and giving words to describe them.
Oh, perfect.
And, you know, I mean, yes, as a human being, I had to learn the process and figure it out and how do you present it to people without freaking them out.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I took that and I went, that was one of the things I learned.
Wow, that's fascinating.
And then finally they taught light body surgery. They hadn't taught it in 6 years. And I bugged them enough, I say, that they decided to teach it again. And I taught it and the same thing happened. It was like, oh my gosh, I know what I'm doing. I mean, like, I know this. Like,
I know this. This is natural.
Yeah, this is natural. Exactly. Natural. And so it just, you know, it connects you deeper, right? I mean, certainly it was a class and I learned things and the practice and how to stay clean and clear and, you know, all of that.
Yeah.
But underlying, I knew it. Yeah, I know. Wild. And back up, my friend who had this brochure, this tattered brochure she'd been carrying around for 11 years. She'd been carrying it around for 11 years, saving up money to work with the people to do light body with them.
Oh, wow.
Obviously also to share it with me.
Obviously. No accident. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that, Barbara. And I think that gives us all a much better.
I know, still. You look kind of normal there, Barbara.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, well, I know we're going to do a little bit of work together soon. So anything else you'd like to share with everybody just about who you are and how it all works? You don't, because it was beautiful. I think
I believe that we hit it all. Most of the time, I'll leave you with that. Most of the time, people hear my voice, hear my name, or hear light body, and they go, I don't get it, but I think I have to work with that woman. And I do have some, because we'll have on the profile here, I have a couple of free clearing processes that are amazing. And it's to help empower you to do your own work, so that you just have me come in and do the surgery, the specialist part, right? The specialist part.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Barbara, and on we go.
Thank you.